You think you're safe. You think it's just a game. But what if the digital world isn't as harmless as you believe? What if the line between the real world and the game world begins to blur? Tonight, we dive deep into 5 chilling horror games that have claimed not only player sanity but, in some cases, their lives. Beware, these are not just stories. These are the things that lurk in the dark corners of the gaming world, waiting for you to make the wrong move. Our first game is one that taps into our deepest fears, Phasmophobia. A game where players take on the role of ghost hunters, investigating haunted locations. But what happens when the game's artificial terror feels too real? It's a game that relies on immersion. The more you believe, the more the game believes in you. Players have reported feeling the oppressive presence of spirits even when the game is turned off, some unable to shake the sense of being watched. And in some cases, players have claimed their fear led to panic attacks, heart failure, and unexpected disappearances. No one knows for sure if the game is just a catalyst for these horrors or if something darker is at play. Next, we delve into The Dark Occult, a game that deals with the most sinister of subjects, occult rituals and demonic possession. But, in this case, some players didn't just leave with the thrill of a terrifying experience, they left with something far worse. Reports have emerged from players who experienced something unexplainable. Some speak of hearing voices in their homes, seeing shadowy figures in their peripheral vision. Others have experienced nightmares so vivid that they believe the spirits from the game followed them into the waking world. Some believe that the game's creators may have opened a doorway to a realm far more dangerous than they ever intended. Could the players have truly opened the gates of hell? At first glance, Doki Doki Literature Club seems like an innocent dating sim, but beneath the surface, it hides an unsettling truth. What begins as a light-hearted game of poetry quickly turns into a nightmare as characters devolve into madness, self-destruction, and, in some cases, worse. Players who thought it was just a harmless visual novel were soon confronted with disturbing imagery, a break in reality, and characters that seemed all too aware of the player's presence. It's no surprise that some players became so unnerved they had to stop playing entirely. There are reports of players unable to shake the feeling that something followed them, as if the game somehow bled into their real lives. Could it be that Doki Doki Literature Club was more than just code? Could it have left a permanent mark on its players? Slender, The Arrival, a game that is a terrifying reimagining of the legend of Slender Man, a faceless figure that hunts children. But for some, the terror wasn't limited to the game. Players have claimed that after playing Slender, The Arrival, they began to see strange figures in the woods, hear footsteps that weren't their own, or even experience moments where reality seemed warped. One chilling account involves a young player who described waking up in the middle of the night, paralyzed with fear, as if Slender Man himself was watching, waiting. Others report nightmares that lasted for weeks, causing psychological distress so severe it led to hospital visits. What if Slender Man wasn't just a character in a game, but something more? And finally, The Binding of Isaac, a game that plays with religious symbolism and grotesque imagery, where a boy is forced to sacrifice everything to escape his mother's wrath. It's dark, it's twisted, but for some, it's far too real, while many have described the game's emotional toll. Others speak of strange occurrences after playing for extended periods, whispers in their homes, cold spots, and the feeling that their very souls were being tested. Could the dark forces at play within The Binding of Isaac have crossed over from the digital world to reality? Some say it's just a game, but others are not so sure. These are the games people play, but are they truly safe to play? Or have some players already paid the ultimate price? The game never truly ends.